Hey, fourth graders. So some of you might have done problem string number 13 yesterday in class. Some of you will do it tomorrow, but today we are doing problem string number 14. So you need your number corner book on page A14 in the back. You'll need to set up your page to show 8. And then, of course, your problem, your strategy, and your connections right there. Now, if you haven't been using your number corner book and you're using your math journal, then I hope your math journal is with you. Otherwise, you can just get a piece of paper and get this down, and you can always glue it into your number corner book. So today we are going to look at area models for multiplication and then using that to help us with division, because multiplication and division are inverse operations. And that's going to be a big word. Inverse means opposite. All right, so set up your paper. So you have the problem and you have the strategy, and then your connection. Connection is not going to be till the end anyway. Connections. And then you need a line, and then move this over here. Okay, so problem, not a lot of room. Strategy, the most room, and then connection, not a lot of room. All right, so your first problem says I had a piece of paper that was 14 inches long and 10 inches wide. What was the total area of the piece of paper? Well, we know area from before. It's length times width. So the length of the paper is 14 by 10 inches. We can make these little marks for inches. And we know 14 times 1 is 14, but 14 times 10 is 140 inches squared. So actually you have to write inches squared. So our problem is 14 times 10 equals area. And then we found out that area is 140 inches squared. All right, no problem with that so far. You can put a line underneath. We are done with that. The next problem says that I wanted to cut the piece of paper that had the same area as the first, which is 140 square inches. If one side is 10 inches, how long must the other side be? So he's got this random piece of paper and now he has to cut it so that way it is 140. So that sounds like a division problem. 140 divided by 10 equals, I'm going to put S for side. So again, we have our piece of paper, we have our 140, and we have our 10. And we need to find out what this side is. So how can we use this area model to help us? Well, if you draw out this rectangle and then draw that square part, you know a square is a 10 by 10. That's 100, right? And then you're kind of missing this part of the 140, right? Well, if this number is 10 and this area is 40, how many 10s make a 40? So 10, 20, 30, 40, that's 4. So you just found out this side that has 10 is given, and this other side, you figured it out, is 14. So 140 divided by 10 equals 14. So this side is 14. Oops. Okay, let's take a look at the other number, the other problem. So you can go ahead and put a line under this. That's the second problem we've done. And now we're up to the third problem. If you need to pause the video, if you didn't get it all, pause it and get this work done, please. All right, here is the last problem. This time it is 140 divided by 14. I wanted to cut a piece of paper that had the same area as the others, 140 square inches. If one side is 14 inches long, how long must the other side be? Well, I understand if you know the fact family for 10 and 14 is 140, then you probably already know this answer. But today's problem string talks about using area models to help us with division. So this is 140 divided by 14. We need to know the other side. Well, here is that paper that's 140 square inches inside, and one side is 14. We're looking for this side. So how we're going to find out what this is? Well, I know that 14 is here and 14 is here. So I know that 14 into 14 is 1, and then 14 into 0 is 0. So really, 140 divided by 14 equals 10. Because 10 times 14 equals, if you multiply, remember inverse equals 140. So what is this all teaching us? Well, here's the connection. The connection I want you to write on this part of your notebook, but since I don't have a lot of room, I'm going to write the connection right here. The connection is the array model represents multiplication and division because they are inverse operations. And what does inverse mean? Opposite. Inverse means opposite. That's all it is. Multiplication and division are inverse operations. They're opposites. Multiplication or addition and subtraction are inverse because they're opposite. Some people say they can't do division, but if they know multiplication, they've got the division part. So that's all you have to do for today. Take a picture of your notebook and submit it. That's all you got to do. Good job, guys.